A 72-year-old widow recorded herself during phone calls for 1 week. What she discovered will make you question every conversation you've had this month. Her friends had stopped calling. Family visits got shorter and shorter. She was eating dinner alone every single night, wondering what had gone wrong. Then she found the audio recording that changed everything. If you've felt people pulling away from you lately, if conversations seem to end awkwardly, or if your phone doesn't ring like it used to, what you're about to hear could save your relationships. I'm going to share part of Martha's story with you in just a moment. But first, I want you to pause and think about this. When someone asks you, "How are you?" what's the very first thing that comes out of your mouth? Keep that answer in mind, because you're about to see why it matters more than you think. Martha thought she was going crazy. Her best friend Margaret used to call every Tuesday for those wonderful hour-long chats they'd shared for years. Now, those calls had turned into quick 5-minute check-ins that felt rushed and distant. Her daughter Sarah's weekend visits had changed too. What used to be staying for dinner and lingering conversations had become quick coffee visits where Sarah seemed eager to leave. Martha couldn't figure out what she'd done wrong. The relationships that had sustained her for decades were slipping away, and she felt helpless to stop it. So she did something most people would never think to do. She started recording her phone calls for an entire week, hoping to understand what was happening. What she heard when she played those recordings back made her physically sick. Every single conversation started the same way. "My back is killing me," she would begin. Then it would flow into, "The bills are just overwhelming me," followed by, "I couldn't sleep again last night, and the neighbor's dog wouldn't stop barking." In 7 different conversations with people she loved, she spent an average of 12 minutes complaining about her problems. But here's what really shocked her. In that entire week, she had asked her friends a total of 3 questions about their own lives. 3 questions in 7 conversations. I want you to stop for a moment and think about your last conversation with someone you care about. How much time did you spend talking about your problems compared to asking about their world? Be completely honest with yourself here. This might sting a little, but it's important. Because here's what scientists have discovered that Martha didn't know. Researchers actually hooked people up to brain scanners and monitored what happens during conversations. What they found was remarkable and a little terrifying. When someone vents to you for more than 3 minutes straight, your brain releases the exact same stress chemicals as if a predator were chasing you. Think about that for a moment. Your friend isn't just feeling tired after talking to you. Their brain is literally treating you like a threat to their well-being. Have you ever looked at your phone when someone's calling and thought, "Do I have the energy for this conversation right now?" That's not you being a bad friend. That's your brain trying to protect itself from what it perceives as emotional assault. But here's the part that will really surprise you. The person doing all the complaining, their stress levels spike even higher than the person who's listening. You're not just affecting their mood negatively. You're poisoning your brain chemistry at the same time. Every time you focus exclusively on problems without any balance, you're rewiring your brain to find more and more issues in your daily life. Martha discovered this the hard way, but what she did next didn't just save her friendships, it completely transformed her life. After listening to those recordings, Martha knew she had to do something difficult. She called Margaret back with a question that took tremendous courage to ask. "Margaret," she said, "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. Do you dread talking to me?" The silence that followed lasted 23 seconds. Martha timed it, watching the clock on her kitchen wall as her heart pounded. Finally, Margaret's voice came through the phone, barely above a whisper. "Martha, I love you so much, but I have to tell you, every conversation we have leaves me feeling like I'm drowning. I want to help you, I do, but I just don't know how anymore." Martha hung up the phone and cried for 3 straight hours. She realized she had become the friend everyone avoided, the family member people visited out of obligation rather than joy, the caller people let go to voicemail because they didn't have the emotional energy to answer. But then something incredible happened. Instead of giving up, Martha decided to find a solution. She discovered a technique so simple you'll probably think it can't possibly work. Yet within 30 days, her phone was ringing again. Friends were dropping by her house unannounced. Her daughter started staying for the entire weekends like she used to. The technique has 3 parts, and I'm going to share all of them with you. But first, you need to understand why most people get this completely wrong. Most people think the solution is to stop sharing problems altogether, to bottle everything up inside and pretend life is perfect. That's not just wrong, it's relationship suicide. The real solution isn't about silence. It's about balance and timing. It's about creating space for connection instead of just dumping your emotional burdens on others. Here's Martha's exact formula. Martha created what she called the 3 unloud rule. It's beautifully simple. 3 minutes maximum for any problem you need to share, 1 genuine question about the other person's life, and 1 positive thing you're grateful for or excited about. That's it. 3 simple parts that transformed everything. Here's how it sounds in real life. The old Martha would have said something like this. My back is killing me today. I couldn't sleep at all last night. The insurance company called again about that confusing bill, and my neighbor's dog has been barking nonstop. The new Martha learned to say this instead. My back's been bothering me this week, but enough about that. I heard through Sarah that your grandson made the soccer team. I've been so excited to hear all about this. Tell me everything. Do you hear the difference? Can you feel how much lighter and more inviting that second approach sounds? The first time Martha tried this new approach with Margaret, something magical happened. Margaret's voice completely changed over the phone. She went from sounding tired and guarded to animated and genuinely excited to share. They ended up talking for 90 minutes that day. But here's what was different. Martha felt energized and connected after the conversation, unlike her usual state of being drained and lonely. I want you to try something right now. Think of someone you haven't called in a while because you've been overwhelmed with your challenges. Picture yourself calling them using Martha's 3-line rule. How do you think that conversation would be different? This works so beautifully because you're permitting people to enjoy talking with you again. You're showing them that their stories and experiences matter to you too, not just your own problems. But here's the part that surprised Martha the most. Martha thought this technique would simply help repair her damaged relationships. She had no idea it would completely transform her mental health and her entire outlook on life. By limiting herself to just 3 minutes of problem sharing in each conversation, something unexpected happened. She stopped spiraling into that victim mindset that had been consuming her thoughts for months. By asking genuine questions about other people's lives, she discovered something profound. She wasn't the only person facing challenges, and she certainly wasn't the only one with joys worth celebrating. By ending every conversation on a positive note, she literally began rewiring her brain to notice good things in her daily life instead of focusing exclusively on what was wrong. The results were remarkable. Within 30 days, Margaret started calling twice a week again, just like the old days. Sarah began bringing the grandkids over for Sunday dinners that stretched late into the evening. Barbara, another close friend, invited Martha on a weekend trip they'd been talking about for years. Even 3 of her neighbors started dropping by regularly for coffee and conversation. But the biggest change wasn't in how others treated Martha. It was in how Martha felt about herself. She stopped feeling like a burden to everyone around her and started feeling like herself again, the warm, caring, interesting person she'd always been. 6 months after Martha made this change, Margaret told her own daughter something beautiful. She said, I feel like I got my best friend back. Marta's still dealing with the same challenges we all face at our age, but now our conversations make me feel lighter and happier, not heavier and worried. Here's what I want to know from you. What's one relationship in your life that could benefit from Martha's approach? Don't just think about it. I want you to actually get your phone out right now. I'm completely serious about this. Get your phone and find that person's number. You're going to call them before this video ends, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to say. Here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. Every day you wait to change this pattern, you're training the people you love to avoid you just a little bit more. Every conversation that's dominated by complaints builds that invisible wall a little bit higher. Every interaction where you forget to ask about their life pushes them a little bit further away from you. But here's the beautiful thing. Every conversation where you use Martha's 3-on-1 rule tears that wall down brick by brick. The call you're about to make is going to be different, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. First, you're going to say, "Hi, this is your name. I was thinking about you today and I wanted to check in and see how you're doing." Then you're going to share one thing that's been challenging for you lately. Keep it to just 2 or 3 sentences maximum. Don't elaborate or go into every detail. Just acknowledge it briefly and then move on. Next, you're going to say something like, "But enough about me. How are you really doing? What's been the highlight of your week?" Then you're going to do something you might not have done in a long time. You're going to truly listen, really listen to their answer without thinking about what you want to say next. Before you hang up, you're going to say something like, "I'm so grateful we got to talk today. This conversation really made my day brighter." That's it. It's that simple, and it's that powerful. I want you to try this just once. Just one conversation using Martha's approach. Then come back to this video and tell me what happened in the comments below. Did the person seem surprised by the change in your conversation style? Did the conversation feel different to you? Did you leave feeling more connected and energized rather than drained? I read every single comment and I genuinely want to celebrate your success and hear about your experience. You don't have to eat dinner alone every night. You don't have to wonder why people don't call you anymore. You don't have to feel like everyone in your life is just too busy for you. The solution really is simpler than you think, and it starts with the phone call you're about to make right now. Martha was 72 years old when she completely transformed every relationship in her life in just 30 days. If she can do it, so can you. Make that call, change your life, and if this video just opened your eyes to something you didn't realize you were doing, please hit that like button and subscribe for more insights that can transform your relationships. Your future self and everyone who loves you will thank you for taking this step. The conversation that changes everything starts right now. Make the call.